Clark, and I am with today my guest, Andres Lagsten. I hope everyone is out there. Let's get there. I brought you into the big screen here.
Here we go.
Welcome to Winners Find a Way show. Again, I'm your host, Trent Clark, CEO of Leadership, and he's serial entrepreneur, speaker in over 17 countries worldwide, and I am also the president here of EOS Michigan and wrote the book, Leading Winning Teams with Wiley. And today on the Winners Find a Way show, I have my good friend, Andres Lagsten of Baking Steel. Amazing. Andres, how you doing, buddy?
What's up, man?
Yeah.
I'm great. Thank you for having me today.
Yeah, it's so good to have Andres with me. Andres is a good friend and also an entrepreneur organization member. Built this company, a kid who's just in an entrepreneurial environment his whole life. We're going to talk a little bit about that. East Coast guy.
East Coast.
Yeah, building it out of Boston area. Out of Boston area.
That's right.
And he did that with a family and then split a little bit. We want to hear that story. So Andres, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you, my man. Nice to be here today with you.
Yeah, it's super great that we can be actually in Andres's studio today, in the Baking Steel studio. Andres makes a lot of videos. He has a great big following. And we're going to talk about his famous dough. This guy knows, he doesn't know how to just make dough. Like, he makes dough, and he makes dough out of making dough. So, like, it's a big deal, man.
New. It's great, man. It's super exciting. Yeah, I love to make dough. I love making pizza. And that's really where this whole project came on board like 10 years ago. I worked in restaurants. I just love making pizzas. I would have pizza parties like you read about with friends and family all the time, just at my house, at my condo, wherever it was, just making pizzas.
I love it. And as a favorite food of mine, right?
Okay,
I mean, it is like, it's my go-to. I could be, and in fact, I was just in Ireland and I felt bad ordering a pizza because I was like, I love pizza. And the menu had good looking pizza on it.
Right. And
you go for it, right? But, this is a big thing now because we're seeing a fundamental change in pizza. I mean, this was something that in the past, had to go out, had to go find someplace. Now we got pizza ovens, you got wood burners you can buy at home. And of course you can buy baking steel. So you go, you got not only the dough, but you can actually put it on your baking steel to make your pizza. And so you got just a passion for this. Where did that all start?
It's a great question. I worked in restaurants. My last culinary adventure professionally was with Todd English at his Olives and Pigs restaurants in Boston.
Yeah.
So this goes back to like the 90s. I love the culinary world. Working with Todd was phenomenal. I actually originally got hired slinging pizzas at his Pigs restaurants. And
slinging
them.
How do you do it?
Great.
Because you guys are the whole thing. The hands-on.
Oh, yeah. And I was like culinary trained. I didn't think my culinary journey would take me to making pizzas.
Yeah, because that feels like when you're a culinary guy, does that feel very like remedial?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
But until you meet Todd, and then Todd is this creative genius. And then I was like, oh, it was super. And the toppings and the pizzas that we made with him were just off the charts. Like, it was there that I recognized like pizza at a different, not Papagino's, not Hungry Howie's, not Domino's, but like artisan pizza, wood-fired artisan pizza, off the charts. So it was there that I took, I had all of his recipes, and I would recreate that environment at home using a pizza stone, like a lot of us used to do.
Yeah, I remember the pizza stones.
I do. It's like an ancient artifact now. I think
I still have one.
Most people do, right?
Yeah, somewhere buried way back.
There's one on the calendar.
Let's get a picture of the baking steel.
This is it. This is it. I feel how heavy this is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Like, it's nice here. Like I can, show off the guns a little bit as I'm with, I can do work and curls with the,
You do some squats.
It's no joke, right?
It's 15 pounds.
It's how much?
15.
Yeah, like that. I mean, don't drop it on your toe.
No, you don't. Yeah, be careful.
Yeah,
we've taken a piece of metal and we use it in our oven. So there's a little science behind what we're doing. Is that steel we know conducts energy well, but what it does, it transfers heat 18x what a pizza stone can do. And I'll put that into context in a second, right? So 18x and a 500-degree oven is unbelievable. It's basically mimicking the floor of a wood-fired oven at 900 degrees. You take that same stone and put it in your home oven, and you're going to make mediocre not great,
Yeah.
decent. But when you put a steel in there, all of a sudden at 500, now we've got it's like turbocharged, industrial. You saw how heavy that thing is.
Yeah.
Well, all that weight just absorbs all of this heat. And so it transfers it into the dough remarkably fast. And that's what we're getting. And that's the baking steel.
And so on bakingsteel.com,
yes.
you can buy these, all the accessories too.
Correct.
Like, your pizza,
peels,
your what do you call them?
We call them a pizza peel, like a wood
pizza peel.
It's like a launching vessel to get into that 500-degree oven because you don't want to.
Right.
You want to launch it in there. We love the wood, the cherry wood.
Yeah,
to help us do that.
Yeah, beautiful. And you got a couple different, sizes there.
Yep.
Yeah,
different size variations.
Man, and by the way, now that I have the product and I'm able to do this, hero status of hosting parties, right?
That's right.
Because everyone's like, "Hey, come in for pizza," right?
Oh my goodness, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we do. It's like we're recreating that, like when I worked at Biggs, for example, I would be working the pizza oven here, the counters in front of me, and the restaurant's here, like 60 seats. I'm watching the line out the door.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. Every single night I'd be working, slinging pies. We make like 150 pies a night. And just watching that crowd come in was mind blowing.
Yeah.
So what we're doing now with the baking steel, that crowd is now your friends and your family.
Yeah.
Which is like the dream setup, right?
Right.
Now I'm making pizzas for friends and family that equal or better than restaurant quality at home.
Yeah, and I've been to a few of these parties, right? And it's like the whole table's laid out like the omelet station.
That's it.
Where it's like, hey, you know what I want on my pie? It's like, I want a little of this and I want a little of that.
That's exactly right.
Oh man, and now, man, like everybody's just enjoying the snot out of it.
Yeah,
it's like, wow,
it's so cool, man. It's like the best experience. In fact, so I teach classes still online. Like I did a class in the studio yesterday for a lot of my customers. So we had like 100 people in a Zoom situation. Same thing, like just helping people understand one, that we're capable of making like incredible pizzas at home.
Yeah.
And, it all starts with the dough. We talked about that a little bit
earlier.
Now one thing being in this world, this food world for the last 10 years, and I did it professionally, is I've really dialed in a dough recipe that is phenomenal. Yeah,
let's see it. Let's see it.
Well, I actually have it in the bag now. This is a 72-hour dough.
Yeah.
And it's like almost like a Betty Crocker mix. All you do is add water, but inside of here, I've got this.
Look at this right here, organic flour. This is the real thing here, right here, man. The baking steel, and you can see this is a beautiful like window to the what you're about to get, right? And very simple on the back, right? Big bold instruction, very easy. I mean, you've really kind of idiot proof this, which I need.
Yeah, we
by the way, right?
Like, just add water.
Yeah.
It was funny, even designing this recipe, because making breads and pizza doughs, it's very scientific. You need to really dial in the amount of water to flour. It's like critical, and I mean by the gram.
Really?
By the gram. So
and this is interesting because when people cook with water,
right,
they're like, oh yeah, hey, a couple cups and 2.5, whatever, right? They'll just
critical. It's such a critical measurement. So when I was developing this, I had to do, like, for example, there's 577 grams of flour.
Yeah.
Now, how did I get to 577 grams? I wanted someone to be able to make 4 or 5 pizza doughs. And I also needed an even measurement on the water. The only thing we are measuring is the water. It's exactly 1 3/4 cup.
Exactly.
I had to work the recipe around the even number.
So when they do that, so like that 1 3/4 cup is with this whole
bag,
the whole bag.
That's it.
And now you're going to split off into 4 or 5, like 10, 12 inch, 15-inch pieces, depending on how big you want to make.
How big you want to make.
Yeah. And the size of your baking steel.
And the size of your steel. How big is your steel? Right?
It is the family show.
It's a family.
Okay. So when you talk about that at Baking Steel, they can order now. You can order this at bakingsteel.com. Always the website's on there, right?
Yeah.
So Baking Steel, and then you can do orders of like 5s.
We get 3 packs on there. We got
3 packs,
2 packs, 1 pack.
Yep.
And then obviously the steel is our baby. Right?
Yeah.
The baking steel is what's going to transform your home oven into an industrial powerhouse. Can't recommend it enough.
So now this is a little offshoot because I know you are the pizza man, right? Like, but like people use their baking skills to cook a lot of other things now. And they're like going, oh man, you know what I'd learned? And they're all on your site going, hey, Andres, check this out what I did with my baking steel.
I get a lot of those emails.
Yeah, right.
Obviously, we know pizza, we know bread's phenomenal. But what's really fun, in fact, last night at home, I took my baking steel and I put it on my grill. And my son loves smash burgers.
Oh,
so I'm literally taking my steel and if you've ever had this is like a flat top, portable flat top, really. And smashing burgers, the Maillard effect on that crust, really super thin, crispy burger. My goodness. It's phenomenal.
I didn't even think about throwing it on my grill. I didn't think about that. Right?
Yeah, it's incredible. Grills, steaks.
Yeah. How big's the biggest baking steel?
I do custom steels.
Oh, you do custom?
Okay. So I got some big
custom you have some commercial clients who call you. They want it.
Yeah. I do have some commercial clients, but our biggest off-the-shelf steel, we have two. We have one for bread bakers, which is 15 wide by 20 inches. I'm sorry, 20 wide by 15 deep. Think someone who's making a lot of breads at home.
Yeah.
They want to make 2 loaves at one time or 4 loaves.
Yeah.
That allows them to do that.
Okay.
And then you got the pizza crowd, the New York style.
Because they want the 24 inch.
Yeah, they want the 60.
Thinner than
They want that New York style pizza at home. That's challenging because home ovens aren't that big.
Yeah, right.
But we've maximized it. We have a 16 by 16. We call it the Baking Steel Pro, and that'll 3/8. It's 28 pounds. It's a beast. But that allows.
How do you ship that puppy? Right.
My UPS bill is heavy.
Yeah.
In a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
But
shout out to UPS. By
UPS, you guys do a great job for us.
Yeah.
The big steel is a beast. In fact, you need to have a bigger peel. This is a 12-inch peel, so you have a 16-inch peel to match that, and it's phenomenal.
I love it. So let's talk about the early Andres ways, right? Andres comes up, born and raised in the Boston area.
I was, Boston.
And the family is in the food business.
Steel.
Oh, in the steel business, really?
Correct, yes.
I mean, really not food. You chose.
I chose. I was in food, correct. Yeah. I was in food. My mom's Italian. So
yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Do you have is mom pissed off? Like, did you give like ancient recipes away like on baking?
Funny, yeah, right? Originally, I wanted to steal my grandmother's sauce recipe. They said, no, you can't take that. You can't take that. But there's a lot of, pizza my family's more pasta.
Yeah.
A lot of pasta stuff, like some of my favorite meals still.
Which, kind of gets me because you're pretty shredded. You don't look like the pasta guy, like who's crushing a lot. Yeah, I know, right? Who doesn't?
Man. Oh, who doesn't love
pasta? But, you and I talk about this because we are very health conscious. Andres and I play a lot of golf together and we get out there. And so, but, this is the big thing with his special dough is like, I don't want that heavy. I don't want the gluten. I don't want all stuff. And like, I just came back again from Ireland. I was in Italy. I've been in Ireland. I mean, a lot of European time. What I love about being in Europe, and especially in your old country, is like nothing processed, right? Like it's just
agreed.
And I'm talking to all these people who are sitting with me at dinner who have gluten allergies here in the States, who have no issues eating any problem with the breads and everything.
That's
in Italy.
An incredible point.
And,
and funny. And here's what's happening. And because we do this, it's you take this recipe, for example, and you can see it's wild, right? 72 hours we recommend. 72 hours. Now, that's not hands-on working time. That's just the dough literally sitting in the fridge, 72 hours or 48 hours, say. What's happening scientifically, the protein, the gluten strands, the strands of gluten help this thing stretch. Well, they begin to break down naturally in the fermentation process. So when you ferment your doughs for 72 hours, this dough is really supple. I mean, it really stretches. The glutens are so broken down that when we eat and simply digest this stuff. It goes right through your body.
Yeah.
So light and airy, and you will feel amazing after you eat a pizza. Like you won't, like
not the heavy, like it's still cooking.
Correct. Like when you go to Hungry Howie's, and no offense to Hungry Howie's, but they're making their dough that same day. A weaker dough doesn't ferment well.
And I like their pizza. Like
I'll eat it too.
Yeah, I like it.
But if I have 3 slices, I can feel it that
of course. Yep.
This one, you can eat a whole pizza, and you're not gonna. Your stomach's gonna digest it beautifully.
Man, so I love this. So let's talk about this like in your younger days. Like you're slinging pizzas. Can you feel that? Like,
Oh, big time. Yeah,
yeah.
I
So
know.
do you know, like, oh man, this dough's not great, and we're just serving it up right now?
Oh, yeah. I did last week. It's funny. Last week, I talked about measuring. Well, I eyeballed the water.
Okay.
And I was making pizza on Sunday. I'm like, this isn't right. I didn't put enough water in. And I recalled I didn't measure the water.
Yeah.
And so what happened, instead of a 70% hydration, which is the water to flour ratio should be in this dough 70%,
Yeah.
I probably made it 60%.
Yes.
Which is like New York style. It's okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't making New York style pizza that day.
Yeah.
So my dough just felt a little dry.
Yeah.
It didn't like puff up
Yep.
I wanted it to. It wasn't as airy.
Yeah.
It was still edible and good.
Yeah.
It just wasn't like, I knew.
Yeah,
I knew. I'm like,
everyone else may not know.
Right, yeah, right.
Like, you know.
I knew. Yeah. So you definitely can tell. I've done this literally thousands of times.
Sure.
And see your hands get used to it.
Yeah, that's so good. Well, let's talk about, I mean, you've now built a multi-million-dollar empire here of baking steel, and people just love what you guys are doing. And you have a loyal audience, which
we do.
That's
amazing,
so cool.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna have a bigger audience because you're all gonna be like, yeah, I gotta get on baking steel.
Yeah.
Like, let's go. And so you want the best pizza. This is where it's at. So, but early on, the early days weren't, always great, right?
No, it's
coming
tough,
along. You end up at some point leaving the culinary, heading into the family steel business.
Correct. Yeah.
And you're like, wait a minute. Tell us about, the show is called Winners Find a Way.
Awesome.
Right?
Great.
And the reason I like that is because I love the quote from Four Disciplines of Execution. Winners, when shown data that they're losing, find a way to win. And you get in a family situation, and you've been in a couple of these situations, right?
Yeah.
And you don't feel like you're winning. Is that fair?
Very fair.
Walk us through
Great
that story.
question. So I left the culinary world. I love the culinary world.
Yeah.
I had an incredible job in my 20s with Todd. I just loved it. But I started seeing trajectory, like me owning a restaurant one day, and I knew the numbers intimately in a restaurant, and it is tough.
Yeah, like slim margin.
Slim margin. And by the way, in New England, if it snows and on a Saturday night and you're expecting to make some revenue and you make zero revenue, well, you cannot make that money.
And you lose all the food.
And you lose all the food.
Yeah, so because now all the food's gone. Yeah, it's like a double win.
And not like you can have a sale on Monday.
Yeah.
And like make it all up.
And everyone's coming.
Right. Not happening. So
yeah.
That was just one micro, but there's a lot of things. My dad is an entrepreneur. From the time I was like 10, I was welding in his plant. He taught me, and I just loved the steel, the equipment that he had. When I turned 18 and I went to college and was starting my own life, I'm like, I'm never going back to work.
Yeah, like forget that place. That welding heat.
No way.
My dad's working his butt off. And you're finding this great culture in restaurants, right? Because what we do love all about the best restaurants, right, is the culture. We all want to go like, oh man, it's gonna be fun to hang out. We're gonna get great food. And where do we fellowship, right? Like that's it. Restaurants. And so golly, you can get addicted to the environment. How are the hours? I mean, the hours, well,
super
probably not bad when you're young, but now you get married, you start having kids, and you're like going, oh man, like let me meet the food truck at 4 a.m. and let me get this going. You're like, oh wait,
not happening. It became hard. I saw that writing on the wall. So I remember, after working with Todd for a few years, I had lunch with my dad, and I'm like, wait a minute, my dad's business. He makes product out of steel. It doesn't go bad. He works his customer base. He always gets paid. Caterpillar, John Deere, right?
Got a great client list.
Great client list.
Yeah.
So I had lunch with him, and I thought I had enough world experience that, hey, Dad, if you hire me back, I can bring something to you, and I can help build your business.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. My brother was there. I was doing that for 15 years with my dad. It was a really nice experience. But I had a son who was 4. I was married in a beautiful home. And my son would ask me, Dad, where do you go during the day? And I had a pause. I'm like, holy shit. Like, I wasn't proud of what I did. I wasn't like, I had a good job, good paying job, liked my life, worked out every day, hit golf balls at lunch, had a good setup, beautiful home in the burbs. I didn't love what I did. And my son, and I was like almost ashamed because I'm like trying to be this like resourceful dad, passionate dad, raising a son that's going to be passionate with life And here's dad not passionate about what he does. So it really hit me. 4 years old. And I remember this day like it was yesterday. And I was like, I paused and I was like, I didn't tell him this, but I'm like, shit, I don't love my life. So I think like the next day I just started doing yoga. I started researching. I found a book called The Artist's Way. And I'm not thinking of the name of the author. We'll pump it up.
Yeah.
And what it helped me do is journal. So for the next year and a half to 2 years, I journaled what they call brain dump. I started writing things down, kept working, kept being a dad, just kind of journaling. 2 days, I mean, every single morning, like maybe 30 minutes, 25 minutes, 2 pages, dump it. No plan, no action plan. One Friday night, 2 years later, I'm in my office by myself reading the Wall Street Journal about a launch of this new cookbook. As a foodie, working in steel, I'm like, oh, this is cool. Interesting read. And
that's not the typical Wall Street Journal.
No,
a cookbook. Like,
yeah, right. It was about it was about a cookbook.
Yeah.
Oh, this is interesting about a food science guy from Microsoft.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I read the article. It talks about pizza and steel, and I was like, someone hit me over the head with the baseball. Like, wait a minute, I know pizza really well. I know steel really well.
Yeah.
Interesting. What the heck? And it made sense as soon as I read it, and I literally designed this product from that article in like 7 minutes. I'm like, I got all the equipment I need to make this. It's like cast iron, if you will. I could season it. I can heat it up. I can form it like I wanted to. My dad had $1 million worth of equipment. So I went out to my plant. I grabbed a piece of steel on this Friday night. I brought it home. I carried it like this, to my wife, rusted piece of steel. She's like, what are you doing with that steel? Like, I'm making pizza on this weekend. And so that weekend, on Sunday, I made pizza for the first time on steel. And anybody who makes pizza at home realizes that we have a crispy problem. The first time ever at home, I made a crispy pizza on my steel. I was like, so I went back to my office on Monday morning. This is 2011-ish.
And now the passion's on fire.
And it's fire. I'm firing.
Yeah.
I'm so fired up to go in there. I can barely sleep. I go to my dad and go, hey, Dad.
I can barely sleep. I love that.
I go, Dad, I got a new idea for a product. He's like, what is that? I'm like, it's a steel that's going to go in the oven making pizza on. And he looked at me like, he goes, not a bad idea, but how are you going to make that? And not how you
market it.
How are you going to sell it?
Yep.
And I'm like, you're right. So I shelved it, didn't do anything. I was like, fuck. 6 months go by, this idea just would not leave my head. So I started making some. I grabbed some guys at the plant. We started making some. I sent them to friends. And now the feedback I'm getting from friends was just,
this is crazy.
Incredible, right?
Yeah.
So now I got the proof, the prototypes. They're giving me the same feedback. So I'm like, let's go.
Yeah.
So I did a Kickstarter in 2012.
Kickstarter. Nice.
Right?
What'd you raise?
I was trying to raise $3,000. Now, this is before Kickstarter blew up.
$3,000.
I was trying to raise $3,000. Now, if you're not familiar with Kickstarter, it's a micro investing.
Micro lending, friends and family.
Friends and family. You're basically giving a product in return for money.
Yeah. And you're saying like, hey, listen, there's an exchange in Kickstarter that says, hey, I'm going to provide you from one of these cool items I'm making. Yes. You're going to love it. You're just going to overpay 5x for it.
This was not. This was like, it's like $60. I was charging $60 for these.
Is that what you're doing? Okay.
And I was like, I knew I could make a little bit of money. It wasn't about the money. It was about really just getting the proof out there.
Yeah.
So 3,000, someone told me early on in Kickstarter, if you make your goal, you're on Kickstarter forever.
Okay.
If you have a lofty goal and you don't hit it, well, you're gone. You're off. You'll never be seen.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make it attainable. So $3,000 to me was ambitious. I thought I could do 6 or 7 on the wild side. Grand. I think I thought I could hit 3 with friends and family.
Yeah.
But there's also the chance I might do 0.
Yeah.
Right? Don't forget this thing weighed 15, 17 pounds from day one.
Well, and you sold these for $60, and then you paid what, $20 to ship it? Like,
Plus, it was $20 to ship. Back then, it was probably like 13 or 14.
Yeah.
But anyway, I thought I could get a 0. I also thought my wildest dreams would get 6 or 7. Well, we hit $3,000 in a day. Long story short, towards the end, this influencer, Kenji Lopez, got a hold of it, tested it, and loved it. We went from $17,000 to $38,000 like 3 days later. So we ended up at almost $40,000, 500 units sold. I was like blown away because at that time that was amazing.
Yeah.
But the good news is here we're manufacturers. So we were able to pump those out and make those.
Big deal.
Right away.
Like that's a big deal because, you know, a lot of people go, hey, I got an idea. Now I got to go back to the people and go, hey, I need more materials.
Yes.
You already had the material.
I had the material.
You already had the supplier.
I did.
Yeah. So you had a lot of things going.
Correct. Yeah. I could make them myself. We delivered before our deadline.
It's good to know.
That was huge.
Yeah.
So then literally 6 months later, we were in Bon Appetit magazine.
Wow.
I was in Food and Wine magazine. In fact, I think a year after that, the Wall Street Journal did a little blurb, news you can eat.
Did you save your cookbook article next to your Wall Street Journal? Because like, this is what started it all. And then this is where I got in like 24 months.
In 24 months we were in. So then I was acting as a DBA for my dad's business in 2018, 5 or 6 years later. I spun it off to Baking Steel Company on its own, which is where we are today.
Yeah.
Now I moved from Boston to Grand Rapids. This is how we met a few years ago. Yeah. And this is my new studio.
Yeah.
In the studio is we create content.
Yeah.
We create pizzas in here. We make them. We show people how to do it.
Yes.
Take a lot of photographs.
Yeah.
And it's been an amazing journey.
Yeah, this is all set up. I mean, and he's got this whole doctored all around. Like, it's great. They got lighting systems and everything. And, you know, when it's showtime, it's showtime.
It's showtime. That's right.
Yeah. So it is, and the natural light's amazing.
Isn't that beautiful?
Like, it's just crazy. And so
there's no studio lights here, guys.
Yeah, we have no studio lighting on right now, like at all. Like this is amazing. Yeah,
that's right.
And so, you know, talk about one of those challenges along the way that you thought like, oh man, how am I going to overcome this? Like, what's going to be the next thing that I've got this hurdle that looks a little like, hey, I thought this was a 2-foot hurdle and that thing turned into a 6-foot, you know.
There's been so many like along the way. It's just been a bumpy ride. Like, well, the best one to me so far was like when I was out, I was getting contacted by retailers. Okay?
Oh yeah.
All right. So
now you got to consider, do I go into, you know, all the hip places, right? Yeah.
Now my mindset is I'm trying to sell one unit to an end user.
Yeah, you're a B2C. You're a to consumer.
I'm to consumer, and I've got a retail calling me. First of all, I don't know if I can make enough for them.
Yep.
But secondly, I'm like, when they told me I didn't know anything about this world. When they told me what their margin was or needed to be, I was way underpriced. Like I couldn't do it.
Yeah. Like this isn't gonna work.
I would.
There's nothing left for you.
I'd be losing money in every single unit.
Yeah.
So what it taught me was that if I, like, for example, if I launched a new product like today, well, I got to leave some margin in there for retail because otherwise you're toast. And you need to have excess margin for so many things.
Yeah.
Because all this stuff costs money.
Oh,
right.
Well, and I think this is what is really such a big point here of overcoming a hurdle of like, where do I go? Like there's a couple strategies, right? And, you know, there's always that strategy of, I love the idea of like, hey, I'll take 3% of 500 million, right? Like that seems really good as opposed to 10% of the 5 million.
Right.
Right. And so, you know, you start running the numbers going, oh, this is pretty good for me. Right. But, you know, then there's the whole, like, is it sustainable? Is things. And I've seen a lot of people in retail who have gone and they cannot maintain the cash balance for productivity. And it's so challenged to keep up with demand and manufacturing and fulfillment. And so you get all these things like going, man, I haven't even sold a product and I'm super happy that someone's going to walk into Walmart or Meijer and walk down aisle 12 in the baking needs and go, oh, baking steel, of course I need this right now. And there's 30 on the shelf,
right,
awaiting them. And then, you know, and you're like, hey, how long is it going to sit on the shelf? So you need, you know, 30 more. And of course, both those have thousands of locations that have to be delivered 30. And you're like going,
how can we do that?
Now we have a Web3 environment where people have loyalty, membership, baking steel crowd, or they're not interested. They're committed.
That's
right?
Yeah.
They're in it. And I love this about your audience. Like, and I think now everyone understands the passion, the demand, and it's really organic.
It is. It's been very organic.
Correct. Like your dough. It's really organic. And the growth is really
slow and methodical. It's funny, you know, one big lesson I learned was from that 2008, 2009 downturn when the economy just crashed.
Yeah.
And that was really hard. And I remember working for my dad at the time. And here's what I learned is my dad had 8 customers. He had an $8 million business. He had 8 customers.
Yeah.
Each one was $1 million.
Yeah. Which is not a bad spread.
Right.
Like,
No, but you lose 1 or 2 of those. That's a massive hit.
Yeah.
Right.
25%.
Right.
Yeah. 2 clients. Right.
Right.
Like,
so that's like your overhead. Yeah. Nothing works anymore.
Well, and then if you go to the retail market, you're bolden to 2 for 90% of your revenue.
Forget it.
Yeah, 1 leaves and it's like, oh, that was 45%.
Yeah, right.
And now I've just and this is where I think it's really challenging for the employee who doesn't understand this in growth. You know, when you're in an organization, everyone's like, oh, we love growth, we love this. Well, listen, if we just went up and scaled up to $50 million with all this retail, and then the 45% drops off, I'm also going to have to cut 150 people.
Right.
Like tomorrow.
Otherwise, it doesn't work.
Yeah, because all the numbers just turned upside down.
Like that. During COVID.
Oh, of course it did.
Like a lot of these companies, right?
Yeah, so many.
So many. And I get it. Like, so I've always been like this slow and steady at my own speed. Yeah. And it's funny, I did have one retail relationship and like 2015 to like 2019 maybe. And guess what happened? It went belly up during COVID.
Yeah.
So thankfully, it was like 5% of my business. Yeah. Right. It wasn't a massive. Yeah. Wasn't a massive hit. Now it still sucked.
Oh yeah.
Right.
For sure.
But it wasn't a massive blow to me. Now, if that was a bigger percentage of my business, then it's a whole different story.
Well, and I think what you learned out of 08, 09 was, hey, I will take a shot at this in 15, the small percentage.
Correct.
Like, doing this and saying, this is what I'll do. I'm willing to do at this rate. So many companies have been there, and I really felt this in 09 too. I was in shipping, I was in real estate, primarily, vacation rentals, and I was an executive in a company at the time. Well, 2 of those 3 went away. Oof. In 09, like just like that. Wow. And here I was like, I literally kept the lights on, paid the mortgage because of the vacation real estate, which was the lesson to me was I thought, oh, no one's going anywhere, no one has any money. And then I realized, no one's going to actually stop doing vacation.
It's true.
They're going to change it. They're going to be like, hey, listen, we still want to go. Now, I don't know if the Lagsten family and the Clark family can afford the Marriott or the Hyatt. But what we could do is let's go rent this big house. We'll share costs. We'll go out. You're a cook. You're a chef. And we got food, and we'll do this, and we'll do it on a budget.
Great community.
Yeah, and we get community. Yes. We get fellowship from it. And man, it was a game changer, right? I think for Airbnb, VRBO, like what a transition and a skyrocket to their business was. Here's this whole thing that looked so bad. 2009. Crisis is coming. Oh, we happen to be sitting at Solution Central, and off they go. Right?
Isn't that amazing?
Isn't it crazy? So one downturn is like, man. And so for me, and you'll see it with Andres' businesses, the diversity is he's got a ton of focus, but there's also diversity in product. There's diversity in what he's doing. You're seeing this like now he's developed the baking steel product, which obviously this pizza is numero uno, right? But now we're talking smash burgers, and we're talking this, and we're talking about the accessories that you can get.
It's amazing. And you want that repeat business, right? As much as you can.
Yeah.
Right? And friends and family, right? Can't say enough about repeat customers.
Yeah.
Just doing, I guess my thing is like my class yesterday was a free class.
Yeah.
Like I don't charge for those. In fact, what I did yesterday, I gave everyone in class a dough pack. I sent one.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to build the community around my stuff. Yeah. This is nice because I think this dough is so good that people are going to try it and say, oh, and it's so easy to make it now. Yeah. Maybe they'll buy 1 or 2 more packs.
Yeah.
Right? Versus my steel, which is amazing. But guess what? You sell 1 steel, that's good for life.
So, yeah. There's that. I need 5 of them at home, right? Like, unless we're doing weight workout or something.
Put your handles on it, right? That's a good idea.
Yes, that's next.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. This is the baking steel workout program. We'll look for the video soon. Yeah. I can help you with that program.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
So you need the workout. So so when we talk about that, one of the discoveries along the way, let's talk about this because you have this loyal fan base, you have this market. We've built a lot of companies on price high and justify. Like we price a point where everyone wins. Like we still want to make it in a point where it's not crazy, but you get super value for that dollar. Lexus has done this very well, right? They price high and they justify, we're the best manufacturer in the world. Like, listen, like this is what we do, and don't come in here expecting, entry level Ford prices, right? Like this is, you're going to pay what you're going to get.
That's right on.
But you're going to get ROI on that value. My father was a loyal Lexus user. My mother still is, and it's cost of ownership. It's so cheap. Like, oh my gosh, I get volume and retail and retained value of a Lexus is amazing. So they've sold this. In our world, you and I have looked at the cost and the value of a client. Our customer stays, and we land and expand inside our customer. So from a marketing standpoint, you've worked diligently to reduce your cost of acquisition to a new customer, because when they come into baking steel, they've got a passion, they've got a love, and I'm staying. Like, this is awesome. And so let's talk about what you've done on that marketing front to like really get like, hey, I got a twofold piece. I land and expand in my market. So it's the dough. It's the peels. Yeah. It's the things that we can really do to make their lives better and enjoy this passion together. But there's also hey, I need more people to know about our passion and come in with us. Talk about what you've done there.
Yeah. I mean, the big thing for me is this community building.
Yeah.
And for me right now, it's connecting with my customers one-on-one. People that have already purchased from us, people that might want to purchase from us, which is why I do these classes like probably 3 times a month. I'm teaching a class with my email list that I'm building. Reaching out to them and saying, hey, on like this week, for example, I didn't have a class scheduled this week, but on like Monday, I was like, I'm gonna do a class. Let's do a pizza class this week. Because last week's class, I had so many questions on pizza making. I thought, let's just have another pizza class.
Can we hype up the pizza class right now?
Oh,
what is it?
Great. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you just go to bakingsteel.com, get out our email.
Okay.
And then we'll send you invites to these classes.
And did you already do your pizza class this week?
I did one yesterday.
We missed it. Okay.
I made a Hawaiian pizza. It was really cool. And I know pineapple is really controversial on pizza.
Why?
I don't know why.
I'm taking a moment on this because this is a big thing for me. I am a pineapple on pizza guy. I am in love.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, it's great.
Okay. And here's my little minor study at the Clark household in pizza making and pizza ordering, right?
Oh,
is that I have probably sent so many pizzas, so many people have come to my house and gone, pineapple on pizza, that's disgusting.
Right.
They say that immediately. And I go, oh, you've tried it then. Well, no. But, okay. I said, well, listen, it's free. Trent bought the pizza for everybody. He said, why don't you just come in, get a little taste. And then I find this person eats half the Hawaiian pizza. And it pisses me off all the time because they're like, oh my God, it's so good. Right? And so it's funny, but this has happened time and time and time again with pineapple.
I'm with you. Just taste it first.
Yeah.
And then decide.
Just find out.
Yeah. And because I'm like, anything you put on a pizza, I'll try.
Oh, yeah.
Right? As long as I like the food.
Yeah.
I mean, the pineapple, I think, is a really nice. I did with Serrano ham yesterday. So I got my spin on ham.
Yeah.
For a traditional Hawaiian pizza. Tomato sauce and mozzarella. It was a really tasty pizza. I haven't done that one. I've done like versions of that, but I guess getting back to your question is like, I'm experimenting with my class. And I think that's really the community building. In fact, like last week I did a class made an arugula pizza.
Yeah.
In class, I made a thin crust version.
Yeah.
And then
it almost looks like a healthy pizza.
Yeah, it was almost healthy. But then I tasted, I took pictures, and then I always send a follow-up email to what I was building in that class. I'll send the recipe or whatever.
Yeah.
This time I was like, wait a minute, I didn't love that pizza. So I recreated it on Friday after the class and sent that version to all my customers and said, hey, look, I messed up. I didn't mess up. I prefer this version over what I taught you guys. So this is just another variation of what we did.
And why it came out better. Like what you did that you adjusted.
I tweaked as I went. And I think people appreciate that too. That I'm not like, I've messed up pizzas in classes plenty of times.
Yeah.
You're cooking, you're holding a camera, you're trying to launch a pie, right? The oven's 500 degrees, by the way. So you don't want to burn yourself at the same time. So there's a lot of things that go on. But when I'm by myself, you can dial it in a little
bit. You know, what's shocking to me is that you don't have like 3 ovens here in the studio, right?
Point,
like, I thought you'd be like having
massive ovens.
And do we have a sponsored oven that you go with?
This is actually Monogram.
Okay.
It's not sponsored, but I have been sponsored by them.
Hello.
And my old studio in Boston, I did have 3 ovens.
Oh, you did?
It was a great setup. Bigger. It was more of a test kitchen. This is more of a studio.
Yeah.
Different environment. So this is awesome. I love it here.
Yeah.
This is more like my workplace. And we have guests in here too. And if you're in the Grand Rapids.
Yeah, we're gonna do an EO event. Right here. Like because it's a whole thing.
Right. It's great. So there's
a place for fellowship too.
That's it.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a beautiful day in Grand Rapids. It is like this is springtime in Grand Rapids. We could have 80 and we could have 30. So we had snow 3 days ago.
Right, we did.
Snow flurries 3 days ago. Today is going to be nearly 80, and the deck here at the studio is calling me right now.
Yeah, isn't it? Right?
Yeah,
it's so a good day, man.
It's so good.
It's gonna be a good day.
So let's talk quickly about as you've kind of built this community. For people who don't know about now Web3, which is the community building. It's really people know Andres, they know baking steel, they know what you're about, and it doesn't take long to get it. And here's the beautiful thing: like whenever you're on the new web, you're just click, and I can get what I'm seeing, and I can get involved. And this is the new deal. Like before, that wasn't when we were kids. It was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. We have to go out, go to a store, maybe go to Sears and Roebuck and order out of a catalog.
All the time,
right?
That's all we did. We didn't have. We didn't have
Sears and Roebuck catalog. I mean, that was a deal, right? And you're like, oh my gosh, I love what Andres just did. I saw on TV. In 30 days, I might have one.
Right.
And you're like, oh my gosh, this is like now.
Forget about it.
This is like 3 days.
Well, it's funny. It's like you say that. It's like I just wrote an article on I think crazy things about steel.
Yeah.
I'm like, the title of the article is Steel Alive?
Yeah.
Because it's made so many pizzas it remembers everyone.
Yeah.
It shares amongst the community with everybody.
Yeah.
My point is that I'm trying to make a piece of steel alive.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to sit in a Sears catalog.
Yeah.
Like the Pizza Stone did for years. So we're trying to build it up with community, photographs, and make our product alive, which you couldn't do that 15 years ago.
I think of one company that did that really well back in the day, and that was Ford. We make steel. We do the cars because Detroit was about steel.
Right.
And what he did was he created like, hey, I'm gonna mold this steel into a deal. I'm gonna do this manufacturing like no one's ever done, assembly line, and now anyone can have a car and any color as long as it's black, right? Right?
That's right.
But now your car told a story. It got us to grandmother's house,
right?
And we don't need to do this. And so, all of a sudden, that steel took on a whole community and shaped how we do, our lives. Like commerce and highways and how we can drive across. And Route 66 tells a story.
That's right.
Take your steel and go on your trip, man. And so you've kind of really transitioned this because it does tell a story, a fellowship, right? Like
it's a bonding. Family. It's like, and the things that you can create, and like, man, there's some pizza makers today. Like on Instagram wasn't a thing when I started. It wasn't even existing.
Yeah.
So a lot of people now are building their businesses around their Instagram following.
Sure.
So now they're building the following first, which is a really good strategy. The level of pizza makers at home now, like mind blowing.
Yeah.
How good and intricate these builders are. Or creators, I should say. Unbelievable. Because they dial in, with food, we can be educated very quickly. If you are passionate about bagels, you will be able to dial in a bagel recipe within a week at home and make probably the best bagels anywhere. So
on your steel
in particular. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Cookies.
And I think, I think when you find these communities, and I think if it's one, real strong message today is like the passion of communities now. I saw a little bit of this in the vacation rental space, right? Because people are coming to rent homes because they're all coming to learn recipes together. They're coming to do crafts and scrapbooking, and they're coming to play golf together, and communities gather around what they're passionate
it's so great because like what you talk about there is what I love about the Airbnb is that if your family and my family are in a hotel, well, we're on different floors.
Oh, different floors,
right?
And there's nowhere to cook. There's
right.
no kitchen.
Nope.
And food costs are,
no.
It's dining out, everything. And
everything. So now it's like in the
cool.
morning. If last time I was in an Airbnb, I'm making pizzas for people.
Yeah.
Like they're coming back from their day, and guess what? They're gonna have like phenomenal pizza at home.
Yeah.
I hope it is anyway.
It is.
Pizza because I'm making it.
Yeah.
Or coffee in the morning. I love a big coffee.
Yeah.
I know you are too. We're pouring like amazing coffee. You're not paying $8. I'm not asking for a tip.
Yeah, There's no tipping.
Right,
I'm not paying $8 for a burnt cup.
Right.
You know, I'm like, wow, did I get hosed on this one?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So yeah, the community thing is like it's like expanding. And I think, and I've got kids, you've got kids, and like this generation is like on their phones. I am too. We're all on our phones so much. It's nice to put it away and talk and have a conversation.
Yeah.
And that's really powerful.
Is there a no phone? Is there a no phone rule in the kitchens? Like no phone in the kitchen, man. This is where we gather.
That's where we gather. It's true though. I know at my house at dinner there's no phone, right? That's really important. And I feel like that is it's going to come back.
Well, it's very interesting because this setup has this huge counter space, and it has a bar aspect. And so I have seen this now, talked about this with close friends about community in the kitchen, and shout out to Mama Pancake, who's like every time she's gonna go and everybody's gonna be home and the pancakes are coming out and everybody lines the bar and they're talking and coffee's flowing and it's the morning. What are we gonna do? We're gonna go hike. And it's all of a sudden, we're all coming together.
I love pancakes.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Who doesn't love pancakes, bro? Like you can't go. Could you do baking steel? Could you do pancakes?
We sure can. Sorry. Yeah. We sure can. We've got, in fact, look at this one. I've got another baking. It's called a baking steel mini. So we make a griddle. This is the smallest griddle we have. But this same principle here. We put this down on our stovetop.
Yeah.
And this thing gets so hot, but once it gets hot, it stays hot. So you have pancakes. My wife uses this at home. Her pancakes are off the charts.
Yeah.
Like they're like better than hotel pancakes. I don't know if you notice like hotel pancakes.
Yeah, they're good because they got that old, good. It's got all the flavor already cooked in. You're like,
right.
Yeah,
this is what that's recreating.
But see, now you have your dough,
right?
Yeah, and it's gonna make it's gonna make the pancake mix. Yeah,
but it's great. Pancakes are phenomenal on the steel.
Oh, that's so good. So do you have so in the community of baking steel, do you have the recipe book? Have we sold?
We do. I've got a book called Baking with Steel, and we've got all of our recipes. Not all, because
always ever changing. Yeah.
But on our blog, and what I do each week, like this week, I created a Hawaiian pizza for the first time. A traditional Hawaiian pizza. I made untraditional, but this is the first traditional-ish pizza I've made, and I'll share that recipe with everybody that was at the class yesterday and my entire email list. I'll send that recipe out to people and say, hey, here's what we made in class. Here's the recipe. Try it out. And it's good because it's like, it's not like I'm writing. I'm actually making it as I share it. So it's not like it's a blind me. I'm literally making the stuff that I'm talking about.
Yeah, and what's nice is you're not in this commercial kitchen that people are thinking like, oh, I can't do this. I don't have a system, and you have better steel, or like you have the same thing I have.
All home stuff. Everything I use in my kitchen is available at home. There are people at home that would blow me away in the kitchen. They do make so many great foods. I make it very attainable for people. I'm not a refined cook at all. I'm just your average guy making stuff. I had some professional training, but it's just awesome.
Yeah. Well, I love the fact, you've been in this game a long time. The community is amazing. If you could talk to the folks right now, we've been through the 2001, right? That stopped the world for 3 weeks, right? And then we've been through 2009, a major financial collapse. Now we've been through a 2020 pandemic. As business owners in all this, people are getting some challenges, right? Economically, you run into these things. A lot of people are felt by the tariffs, right? And so, that's an issue. It's all of a sudden there's a little swipe of the governmental pen, and I've seen it change businesses like that
right?
healthcare, right?
Oh
Oh,
my
we're not
gosh, don't get me
Medicare
started.
billing all of a sudden changed and
Oh,
everything's got to be remixed. So rebuilding, re-strategizing. You talked about sitting down and journaling and kind of getting positioned. This is what I always look at that as like I felt like you were positioned well for baking steel because now you kind of had this framework, didn't know, but you're journaling and it's all coming together. Then you see this article going back to your passion. It's all kind of getting very narrow focused for you.
mm-hmm.
And so if folks are out there today and they are kind of going through one of those downturns, what's your best thought for them?
Oof, great. I mean, because we all go through it.
Yeah.
Really get back to the fundamentals. You know, there's two things. There's one, like I'm like I was, or I'm not knocking what I did before with my dad. I really enjoyed working with him. This wasn't my passion there. But there's those guys sitting there like, geez, I don't really love my life.
Yeah.
What can I do to get out of this? Like Alex Hormozy said, you know, most people live 6 months and then the same 6 months 100 times and then they die. Right?
Yeah.
So we want to break that pattern of like for me, I was living the same 6 months until my son said, hey, Dad, what do you do every day? And again, I want to be a passionate dad. I couldn't tell him, I couldn't not love what I did and try to raise a son that's going to be passionate. That's how I felt. So I broke a pattern. I had my everyday job, but guess what? Now I'm journaling. I don't know where that's going to go. A lot of uncertainty there, right?
Yeah.
I'm just doing it for something. I started doing more yoga, starting to stay really healthy.
Yeah.
And I broke my pattern. And all of a sudden, 2 years later, this idea. So my point is, if you're not really comfortable with what you're doing right now, start journaling.
I really like two big lessons out of that. You know, one is breaking the pattern, the meditation, the yoga, the journaling, doing things differently. The other thing I hear in this is patience, right? Like I really I don't need to jump on a decision in a week because you know what? I found out I'm not the passionate dad I want to be and I'm changing this by next Sunday, you know?
Right,
like,
that's a great point.
Hey, it's going to come. I've got to filter, not make rash decisions that may impact your economic condition. Like, hey, I'm going back and doing a job for $19,000 because, you know, this is where I need to be and the kids won't eat. But like, listen, I'm going to be doing what I need to. Like,
that's a great observation.
So I think we do have to have a little patience in that. You know, Rome's not built in a day. The 10,000 hours he talked about earlier, bacon steel, he's baked thousands of pizzas. The reason his are amazing is like, he's done it time and time again, right? He knew that water was not right. I didn't measure it exactly. I knew it. I can tell. Probably no one else can, but he knows, right? So in that, I think that's the lesson. You know, the lesson in it is, as you go out there, and I love this on Winners Find a Way. We always get these great advices about, the challenges and these lessons we've recouped from our lives and our experiences, and it's so good.
Yeah, and trust your gut. Like really, right? Just really trust it. Like, I've not trusted my gut and like taken a note and said, I did it again. I didn't trust my gut. Trust your gut. Like trust what you're feeling, that vibe. If you're feeling something else, really dial it in, but be patient. Literally, it was 2 years from the moment I had that conversation with my son until I was Friday night in my office. I don't know exactly the time frame, but it was a good 2 years in between that.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Like, and then like the baking steel literally is a product developed and created from the story of my life. It wouldn't have happened in my 20s. I didn't have the steel experience yet, or some of the food. It wouldn't have happened. There was a development of, I worked with my dad for 15 years. I worked in restaurants for 5.
Yeah.
So 20 years of me, right? And then me wanting to be an entrepreneur like my dad. That was a big part of it too.
Yeah.
And then, but I was 44 when I created this product.
Yeah, I think that's something special too. I also think like when you talk about your gut, your experiences, your gut is what you've learned from your experiences. I think journaling about that really moves that along very quickly. I think one of the challenges of me in my 20s was I thought I had a great gut feel for people. And now I realized I knew nothing. I was so unaware of like this feeling and I made choices with people, even though my feeling wasn't great about it. I was like, optimist. It'll probably work out. Like not trusting, not understanding. Hey, that feeling is here for a reason. You need to maybe dive into that a little bit.
That's a really good point too, though. Optimism. I'm an eternal optimist.
Me too.
That has never changed.
Yeah.
And even when I'm like, believe me, running a business is not easy. There's days where like I always try to frame it. You know? It takes a lot of intention and hard work to frame something bad as good. Like, right? It does.
Yeah.
But you have to. There's no, again, I'm not going to live those same 6 months. I'm going to change it. So I'm going to change how I think about it.
Yeah. And I think you win or you learn. And when things don't go, you know, framing that learning, what did I get from this? Hey, I should have trusted my feeling on that. It wasn't right. You know, going back, reviewing the tapes, figuring out what could have done better. And I think it's a big deal. For those younger folks, that's, you know, it's a harder thing when you're in your 20s. When you've kind of gone through those experiences, you get a lot better at it because we've done it a lot. We've done a lot. A lot of trial by error, very expensive lessons. Trying to help you avoid a few of those along the way. But for everybody, thank you so much for joining us on Winners Find a Way. Andres Lagsten. You can find it at bakingsteel.com. All the products, all the goods, all the community, everything there. You too can make the best pizza in the world. I'm telling you, it's no joke. You got to do it, right? And until next time, you can find us every Thursday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific, LinkedIn Live, YouTube Live on our Leadershipity channel, and my Facebook Live. And then our podcast drops every Friday morning on all the major networks, so you can hear it there too. And until next time, we will see you as winners find a way.
Awesome.